Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping. This is a place where we can come and chat and connect and create and just have some paper crafting fun. My name is Lillian from Stamper's Niche, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada. And today's date is June the 17th, 2024. So yesterday was Father's Day, so I hope that you had a great weekend filled with maybe some really fun things to do. One of the fun things we did was we went, our one grandson, our 11-year-old grandson, was in a ball hockey tournament. So we bright and early had to be at the rink by 8 a.m. one morning. It was a 45-minute drive. So we've been busy having fun with the grandkids and just having a good weekend all around. So I just heard on the news tonight that there is what's called a heat dome in the United States and Canada, and in the eastern part of me as well, so Ontario, somewhere in there, and that is extremely hot. We've been having cooler than usual weather here. There's even a frost warning in some areas for tonight. So which would you prefer, to have it on the cool side or the hot side? Let us know in the comments as we go, and make sure you're saying hello and saying hi to each other too. So would you prefer to have it cool or hot weather-wise? All right, and we're just going down here. I'm seeing people chime in already. That's excellent. Would you prefer the weather to be cool or hot, like they're having in some parts of Canada and the United States? Let me know. And I'm just making sure that I can see the screen and we're all good to go. Whoops. There we go. Okay. I'm seeing sort of a division down the way there. Some like it hot, some like it cold. That sounds like a movie or something, right? I hit the wrong button on my computer. Sorry, gotta just fix that. There we go. There, we're in business. So while you're answering that, my title for tonight's video is Don't Buy This. Now you're going to say, what are you talking about, Lillian? Don't buy this? Well, I'm saying don't buy any of the dies that are part of a bundle right now. Buy the whole bundle. So buy the stamp set and the dies, and save, not only when you buy a bundle, you save 10%, but when you buy a bundle in June, a die bundle in June, this is only die bundles, you save an additional 10%. So you're going to save a whole lot. And something else that you can save money on right now are the die cutting machines. So 10% off of them, which never happens. So if you're in the market for that or for a new bundle, just now's the time to do it. So I'm going to show you a bundle that I sort of had my eye on, but I thought, oh, I can live without it. And then when they brought the sale out, I thought, oh, maybe this is the time to go for it. So this is the bundle here. And if it hadn't been on sale right now, I likely would have just gotten the dies and said, oh, I don't need the stamps. But because it was on sale, and that brings the price way down, I got both. And I have to admit, I'm really using the stamps lots too. So I'm glad I've got them both. So when I got the bundle, I thought, okay, now I need to think of a way to use this. This is on page 62, by the way. And so I looked here and I thought, I'm going to case this. So that sample right there. So I did that, and here is that sample right here. So this is the stamp set. It's got two-step stamping in it, so I did not spend hours coloring. And then I've got this little insert here, and just like that. So I totally cased it from the catalog. So I thought tonight that might be fun to do that together. So there's what we did. I am going to be using the Bright and Beautiful designer paper. Now this is one of the designer papers that was carried over from last year, or from the, pardon me, I think it was from the mini catalog. And I don't have all of the designer papers left. I have used a lot of it, but as you can see, it's got all kinds of color. It's happy. It's suitable for a ton of occasions. So we've got all these colors on this side. And then when you flip them over, you get more of monochromatic, and yet not all the same colors. So some are like that, some are more ombre like that. So you get all kinds of choices. So I thought that, well, there we go. Since I made this one in more the pinky tones, like this is Fresh Freesia here. This is actually the designer paper. And what designer paper I used here is, this was one side of it. So that's what I've got in the background. And then I took another sheet and used this side for the pocket and then stamped on the pocket. So I thought what I would do this time is take one with more blues in it. So here we have this right here. So one side has this ombre type of thing, and one has the stars. And I thought we would reverse it. We'd put the more monochromatic in the background and make the pocket out of this. So what we're going to do is, this time around, I'm actually going to use a basic white base. This is thick basic white. We'll just fold it in half. So that was 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we've got it just like that. So it's a half a sheet of cardstock. This is going to go on here to form the layer. Now I could go right edge to edge, but sometimes I don't get it to match up exactly. And I could cut this 4 by 5 1/4, but I'm going to go 1/8 bigger so I can get just even a little bit more of the blue, but still have the, I can't remember what I was going to say. Anyway, you get the idea. Now I need to take some either off the top or the bottom. And I think, let me just see. Yeah, I think I'll go that way. So I want this 5 1/8. So, pardon me, 5 3/8. Whew, caught that just in time. Go that way. And this was 4 1/8. So it's just 1/8 bigger than what we normally cut this layer. And I am going to just stamp a background using the cupcake stamp. Now, you will notice here that this set is 2-step stamping. So you can stamp the cupcake, and then you can add a darker color on top, and without any fuss or muss, you've got the 2 tones there. Same with the rings. So you could add color here or add color here. And same with this for the little diploma. You could add color there, so you don't have to color if you don't want to. And it's got happy birthday, yay for you, lots of love. So good stuff right there. I was thinking with the Olympics coming, I'm thinking we could make an Olympic ring type of card with this too. I haven't got there yet, but that's what I was thinking. So let's bring in the cupcake, and this time we're just going to stamp it as a background. So this, these colors here are Azure Afternoon and Misty Moonlight, and I think there's more Misty Moonlight here. So I'm going to do the tone on tone stamping. Move that out of the way and ink this up, and it's just going to be random. So just to add a little interest to the card. And I find it best just to keep even the paper moving, the stamp moving, whatever. I'm not going to worry about the middle because the middle is going to be covered up anyway. So there we've done some tone on tone stamping on designer paper, and I like how that looks. So you can create way more interest or another way of adding interest, and then to your designer paper. Then we're going to put that on here with just the tiniest white border. Yep, that works well for me. And because, of course, the designer paper is all from the same pack, it all works so beautifully together. So let's put this on and slide this down a smidge. There we go. We've got it just like that. And now we're going to take and put that to the side. And we're going to make our first pocket. Now the pocket dies, they come in the 3 different sizes. The middle size is perfect for a gift card. This is just a little bit bigger, as you can see, and because I didn't want to measure and figure things out every time, I put my measurements right here. But I also thought, if you're like me and you're visual, this might be helpful too. So I cut out the 3 sizes. So there's the little tiny one. Let me just move this out of the way for now. And there's the medium-sized one. And here's the big one, just like that. And then I found that the inserts that worked well for me were about this size. So if you flip this over, it's about, I gave myself a little bit of wiggle room on each side of the fold, so it was easy to put in and out. Now you can always make these narrower or a little bit wider or shorter or taller, whatever, but that's the insert for that pocket. At least that's what works for me. Let me just get it so you can see it. And this one is like this, or a gift card. Now a gift card just pokes a little bit higher out, but you get the idea. And then this one for that. So if you want to take a screenshot or something, that will give you the sizes that I found worked. So I will keep this right in with the dies myself, and so I can refer to it all the time. So I hope that helps you. As you know, when I get dies, I like to get acquainted with my dies and do some of these little things with them, just so that I get a feel for what they do. So what we're going to do is we are going to use this, and we're going to use the largest die, and we're going to cut it out of here. So let's bring the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in. And we've got just our basic cutting plates. So this is 6x6 paper, so it just fits. So I always like to kind of make it like I'm fixing the stack of paper and straightening the edges. And we're just going to cut this out. Get that out of the way. And it cuts beautifully. Oh, I need to bring it back for 1 minute. It not only cuts, but it scores. I don't know if you can see the score lines there, so we know exactly where to fold. And what's more, this is wide enough for our tear and tape, so there's no scrimping there. So I am going to actually bring my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine back in, because you see this little piece here? I want that. But I want to cut it. I'm going to use this small circle from the Spotlight on Nature dies. And I want part of, I don't mind that I don't have the full circle, but I want part of it. So I'm going to put that there and run that through. This is called really making good use of all the scraps of paper. And you'll see where I use that later on in the video here. So we make this project. So there I have that little piece. And then we have scraps that we can use on other things. And of course we have these scraps too. So the envelope or whatever, we can use that on. So we're going to move that out of the way. put that there so I don't lose it, and this there so I don't lose it. So let's get this ready to put on our card front. First off, we're going to fold on those scored lines. And it's up to you whether you put your tear and tape on first or not, but I find it easier to see where it goes if I fold first. And then we'll bring this in and just bring our tear and tape in. Now you could use Seal Plus, you can use the multi-purpose liquid glue, whatever you like to use. But it needs to be a strong glue. There we go, we've got that one. And I've got a a gift card sitting here. I'm going to use this as my little tearing tool. I always forget to do that. There we go. I just absolutely love that the flaps fit the tear and tape. To me, that's a huge bonus right there. So we'll take your pick tool and tear those backings off, which is always so satisfying. Like that. Now we're going to bring in our card front and put this on. Now this might be the trickier part, and some people leave the backings on, only take off a little bit at a time. It's totally up to you. So what I'm doing right now is just seeing my placement, and then I'm going to turn it upside down and start on the bottom. And keep my fingers in here and get it started about right. So I'm actually leaving an equal border all the way around, here, here, and here, and then going to let the rest take care of itself. And you want to make sure that there's room in here, but it seems to work out. Every time I've made it, it just does leave a little bubble in there so that it's easy to fit an insert in. So there we've got it just like that. Now we're going to work on the insert. So we have this insert right here, and they've even given us a little arrow so that people know to pull it out. So I'm going to stamp that right off the bat, and I'm going to use Azure Afternoon. It's such a pretty blue. Our grandson was sitting in here the other day, and he spied that and he thought it was a brand new color. He absolutely loved it. So how many of you like Azure Afternoon? Do I have any Azure Afternoon, or are you more of a Misty Moonlight? So this is a brighter blue and this is a softer blue. Which blue is your go-to of those two? Let me know. Now what I've done is taken the second size of the dies and cut out this pocket here, which is about the size, remember, of a gift card, and we're going to use it on here for that, but I want to stamp on here first. So I'm bringing in the Happy Birthday from the stamp set, and I am going to, I think this one will show up better, the Misty Moonlight. Just hope I get it straight now. Put it there, like that. It's kind of hard to tell because the design of the paper is angled as well. So now we're going to just fold on the scored lines again. And use the tear and tape. Same way we did on the big one. So here's a question for you. Are you somebody who likes to cut your tear and tape or tear it, or do you do both? Or when you use your tear and tape, are you a cutter I am often a cutter, believe it or not, but sometimes I tear it. Whoops. There we go. I'm seeing some people are cutters and some people like to tear it. Isn't that the joy of crafting? We can do whatever we want. Okay, we've got this ready to go. So now we're going to bring this in here. And again, I'm going to work on it upside down. And just figure out our placement to begin with. And we'll put it right about here. Now, the people could write on the back, but we've actually made it a card. We could have made this so that it was just a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 piece that didn't open. I chose to make it one that did open. So just like that, we've got a gift card holder made, and we can tuck this little gift card in like that. And then we can tuck this in here, so it's a pocket within a pocket. And it does go in. Sometimes it catches on that fold down there. So let's see. There. Looks pretty good. So now we just need to decorate the front. Just decorate it like we would a card. I'm going to bring in another circle from the Spotlight on Nature. As you know, I'm rather fond of those circles. I'm going to clean my stamp and stamp with Memento Black. I could have stamped in the blue again, but I will stamp with Memento Black. There we go. Like that. There's the cutest little cupcake. Move this to the side here. And now we can color it. So we are going to stamp it with this, and we could leave it just like that. But I thought it would be fun to add a bit of color. So I brought in a couple of the medium colored blends. I'm going to start with this one here and just do the wrapper. Now, if this was my daughter, the wrapper would not be plain brown. It would be colorful and bright and fancy, but I was going with simple. So I put my dark color on the dark lines, and now I've got the lighter color and I'm just filling it in. And I'm basically just kind of scribbling it in, blending it a little bit, because these are blends, right? And just like that, we've got the holder done. And then I wanted a light blue, and the Azure Afternoon, even the light blends was pretty dark. So I went with the light balmy blue, and we're just going to color this in really quickly because we're going to be stamping over top. And this step we could have left. We could have left this vanilla instead of blueberry, but I decided to go with the blueberry. How many of you think you would like blueberry ice cream? Would you like it solid or blueberry and vanilla? Or would you like a totally different? This isn't ice cream, it's icing, pardon me. What kind of icing would you like? There we go, we've got that. And now I'm bringing in the Azure Afternoon. And I'm inking up the swirl. And this is where it's just like magic. Two-step stamping was likely one of the things that attracted me to Stampin' Up! Right way back in the beginning. That and the coordination. And then just like that, and that will dry a little bit lighter, you have the two tones, just like that. I love it. Okay, we're going to close this up and finish up our card. So we're going to put this on here, And if you notice that this one here and the one in the catalog, they had some other circles. And so I thought, well, I would bring in this and tuck it behind. Look, it makes a difference already. And then this little piece that I cut out, I'm just going to add that in here. Now this, I tied a ribbon around, but I thought I would try something different. It was a bit tricky because I didn't want the ribbon on the inside of the pocket. And I thought, well, there's more than one way to do this. So this twine is from the Baker's Twine 3-color pack. So I thought I would try using that and just maybe, let's see, we can just do a few loops. I might change my mind. This part I didn't try beforehand. So let me just see if I want this in here or not. What do you think? Should I add the twine or leave it out? While you're writing the answer, so say twine or no twine, I'm going to add a bit of Wink of Stella to some of this. Twine or no twine? Oops, I see twine. Okay, we will go with that. So this is where we're heading. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down to begin with. Just about here. I'm going to tuck this little piece in after. So the twine is going to go like this. And okay, so I am going to add a little bit of seal there just to stick the twine in. Like that. Get rid of some of that excess. So we've got that. Now let's just see if we still like it or not. Yeah, I think so. And then we'll add a few embellishments afterwards. So we'll put this on dimensionals. Where did my dimensionals go? I buried them. So how many of you can see yourself using these pocket dies? I'll just give you a little warning. I think when you see some of my alternative projects, you might be even more interested. How many of you like to put pockets on your projects? Oops, I guess I better get the cupcake going straight. There we go. And we're going to tuck that in there. And then we just need to add a few embellishments. So the embellishments I chose to go with are called the Rainbow Adhesive Backed Dots. They come in all these different colors. So I think pretty much all of them are in this set here. So definitely we can do a little variety. So let's bring in this, and we'll bring in a blue, maybe a blue one here, and we could bring in a pink over here. And just like that, we have a card with a pocket, and then you can write on the inside. So how I finished the inside of this one is I just added a little bit more of that there. So those are the two cards that were actually cased from the catalog. So there you go. Maggie, you left pockets on scrapbooking. Yes, these are perfect for that as well. So, and you're going to like one of the projects I'm going to share with you in a minute here. So here's a card that I actually got the idea from somebody else, but here's the little mini pocket. I stamped on it, and then I did a little insert, and my insert is a little bit taller because I wanted to use the die and stamp on that designer paper that I was using. But so there's that, and I'm all butterfingers here. This I wanted to show. What I did was I cut out 2 of the pockets and cut the flaps off one and made an insert. So this is actually sort of a pop-up pocket like that. So there's that as well. So there's another way of using that. And then I thought, well, this big pocket here, it would be neat to do a scrapbooking, little mini scrapbook. Now, I used some retired ribbon just because it was still sitting here and it went perfectly. So what I did, I could glue the ends together, but I haven't done it yet because I'm not sure of my order. I think I want to add a few more pages. So I just stamped the front, and then each one of these has the little insert that you can put. Okay, oh, my instructions are in there. That's what's running interference. You can put pictures, you can put journaling, and why am I having troubles here? I have no idea. Well, that's silly. There we go. And then there's this one, so you can put pictures on here as well. And there, so I thought this would be perfect for doing things like for a teacher, for a coach. So each person on a team could do one of these cards and then put them in here, and then the coach could have all of them together. So what I did is I cut out 2 pockets and glued them together. I cut the flap off of one, so I kept with the paper, but I left. Let me just undo this. I did not glue this end, the flaps in. I left them sticking out, and I just glued them together so the insert wouldn't come flying out. And that's what I did there. So that's going to become a little mini scrapbook, or a great big huge card, or whatever. So that's another potential. So you could do that with any of the sizes. This one is just a bit bigger. And when I've done projects with kids, when they're doing for a student teacher or a parent thank you or something, I have found these kinds of things really, really helpful, because then each child can do their own message, draw their own picture, or include their own photograph. And then you can bind them all together, and it's personal. And it's be the same if a coworker's retiring or moving on or that kind of thing. So tons of potential with that. And with all of these cards, but this is the case from the catalog. And you can let us know whether you like it better in pink or in blue. And we all know it would depend who it's going to, of course. But you can see that these pocket dies work with likely any stamps that you have in your collection. But this stamp here is really actually a fun one to have. And when you buy it on the sale price, it's pretty inexpensive. So it's a great one to add. So, hope that gives you some ideas about that, and maybe looking at some of the bundles that are on sale a little bit differently. Oh, I'm sorry. Press the pause button. I just looked to the side and I remembered something else here. What else could you put in these pockets besides a little insert? I've got some ideas here for you. So you could also put in hockey cards or soccer cards. They fit in beautifully. You could put in some bath stuff. What is this? A body butter. So this fits in perfectly. You can fit in photos. But you know what else also fits in? Is our note cards and envelopes, or our note cards from our note cards and envelopes. So these come like this, and they are the perfect size to fit in. So you could make a set of cards and put them in as well. So there are all kinds of things that you can do with this. And speaking of bundles, do remember that even the online bundles are on sale for an additional 10% off. So this is one bundle that I know many of you have had your eye on. This is a bundle that's in the annual catalog, and it also has the masks with it, and it is, so it's got the stamps, dies, and masks, and let's get it right side up. That is 10% off. This one here is an additional 10% off. That's another one. This one's an additional 10% off. This one's an additional 10% off, and we could just keep going. So there are tons and tons of ways to save money and build your crafting collection if you want. So thanks for joining me tonight. Remember, give a thumbs up, and if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And of course, if you share this video, that helps me a whole lot as well. So thank you so much, everybody, and take care. See you next week. Bye-bye.